One of the most important skills that you need as an integrated marketer or a digital marketer is your ability to track different sorts of website pages or different sorts of articles to see what works and what doesn't, because the market will tell you what it prefers. And so we're doing A/B split tests using different Maslow messaging is a good example of where you need a good tracker. And so what you really want is something that's called a link shortener. And one of the best ones for free is Is.gd, which you see here. And so what you can do is you can take a link you want to track. So for example, I put together a whole bunch of videos that I'm using in the classes. And so I could actually copy here the video. Or I could go and let's say I find a really interesting article, like this one is from SEO Hacker on the best link shortening tools of 2018. I would just highlight that and copy it. And so what you do is you go to this system and you copy in the one you want. And this is my video. Now the key is, before I go any further, the most important thing you have to do is you need to click on this little down arrow on the right. And when you click on the down arrow, it gives you a couple things that you really need. First off, it gives you the ability to write your own shortened link. So as opposed to this FY5, Y5, WIQ and all that, I could just put in something. The other thing that it does is, unlike Bitly and other systems, you can actually create multiple links for the same source. And so you could actually put in a different one for all your different Maslow messages if you wanted to go that far. And so I've used this, I've done one called Search Tools and Search Tool 2. So I'll put in Search Tool 3. And then the most important thing, you remember I clicked this down arrow, I got to do that. The other thing you must do this, is to click on the log statistics for this link, and then you hit shorten, and it's now done. The other thing you can do is you can actually put it out as a QR code, which you see here, which will allow you to put it into maybe things that are going to go to a mobile phone where they could just take a picture of the QR code or use it elsewhere. So you can use the QR codes as you go. So you've enabled statistics for the link. So if I click over here, it'll now show me the statistics. So it says, here's what you're linking to, so I can test it. And then I click here, and it shows me the amount of activity that I have for this particular page. One of the things that's nice is when you log into it, it actually, so if I go to login is.gd, it says my recently shortened URLs. So you click on them, and as you see, I have 3 of them going. Now, the limitation that you have with this is you have to do this analysis I'm about to show you as you are going through the day. You can't do it the next day. But here's one that I started earlier today. So now I click on See Stats. And what you see here, and let me just zero it in, is that I have some activity that's happening today. I've got 1 visit. This is Search Tool 3. If I go back to all of mine, if I do it on Search Tool 1, which I did earlier today, you can see I already have 21 visits. And the nice part about this is it has free analytics. So I can look at, for example, the countries that are coming to me. I can look at what browsers they're using, what platforms they're using. What I did was I just put this out on Twitter as a tweet saying, here's a video that you might find interesting. I can also look at it for this week or this month or this year. But the one that is really good is, first off, I can look at for days of the week. I just put this out this Friday. But more importantly, I can look at the number of clicks that have come by hour. Now, when you post it out there, you want to check to see what hour they're tracking. But as you see, I have 13 visits, 7 visits, and 1 visit. The key is that if I'm doing this in 4-hour blocks, I can actually track how many click-throughs each one of my messages had, or I could actually put out a different link for the different Maslow levels. Or if I'm doing an A-B split test, I could have a different link, even though I'm taking them to a similar page. It really is something you're limited only by your imagination. So that's where it's taking it to. This is the system we're using. So when you go out to it, when you go out to Is.gd, you're able to look at your recently shortened URLs, or you can put in another one here, and then remember, always download that. Make a specific one that you want to create that's more English-based or language-based for you. And be sure that you always click here to enable the statistics. And in doing that, you're going to have some really good trackable statistics, which if you do it every single day, you can track it by hour, which is something that we want to do for our Maslow test. But you can also just track things by day. It's totally free. There's nothing you sign up for. All you do is go to Is.gd, and away you go.